Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the World Class XI Football Podcast. Appreciate you listening. Whether you're on the live stream, whether you're catching this on the replay. Thank you for filing in. We are live. We are live. We are live. Welcome to the World Class 11 or the World Class XI Soccer Podcast, Football Podcast, whatever you call it. I'll be playing Championship Manager. I'm talking about a bunch of football topics. So, hey, if you're catching this on the live stream or if you're catching this on the replay, I just want to appreciate you for listening. So obviously you can see I have Arsenal next. Let me just show you my league table right now. Newcastle are doing pretty well. Oh, let me reduce the volume of my. Yeah, everything is royalty-free music, YouTube. So don't kill me on copyright. See, commercial background music. I'm good, royalty-free. And I appreciate Adrenaline, royalty-free music, for letting me use some stuff here because YouTube has been killing me on copyright.
This is a preview file.
You hear that? It's a preview file.
This is a preview file.
All right, if I can get something better. See if I can get something better. So there we go. Newcastle are first on the table. They've been pretty good in the last 2 years. They have Oliver Neville. This is Championship Manager 2003, 2004, by the way. So there's a lot of players in here that, if you weren't born later, you probably don't know. So this is Oliver Neville, who's a German legend. He was number 10 for Germany. So Newcastle have him. They bought him from Leverkusen for free, by the way. Isn't Alan Shearer still here? They shipped him down to the reserves, bro. Yeah. Shalom Melby's here. Craig Bellamy's here. Craig Bellamy was always in Newcastle. His contract isn't protected. I might. Oh yeah, he's trying to solve that right now. Excuse me. They have. Where's Arteta? They have Arteta. Here he is. He's been very instrumental for them since he came in. He's made them like these title challenging people. Well, they haven't won the title yet. They got Morgan DeSantis from Racing Santander. I wish I got him. Morgan DeSantis is still the keeper of Napoli, isn't he? And they have Titus Brown, who is a good defender on this game. Oh, wait a minute. I could snap him up. I could snap Titus Bramble up. I could snap him up. Let me see. Let me see what it's gonna cost me. I'm gonna have to compensate them 2.3 million. I don't feel like doing that. Shea Given is still here. Still a good goalkeeper. Daniel Bonetta is here. He is here. From Parma, they got him for free. So Marco van Basten, who's their coach, he's been doing a lot of good things for them. He really has. Let me see if I can miss anybody. Mohamed Diarra, yeah, Somalian. Jermaine Janus, of course, you know he's gonna have importance. Hugo Viana, his contract isn't protected neither. Newcastle have signed that up. Speaking of which, I probably need to tie up a couple of my contracts. Chelsea surprisingly are doing well with their squad. Jorgen Macho is the one keeping for them, and he's pretty good. I'm looking at these. He has a couple 20s, one-on-ones, and his average reflexes average. Handling 17, ability to come, aerial ability, command of area. I'm surprised it's good. But Chelsea, they did terribly last season. I don't know if I can go back to the. Let's see if I can check the history. Oh, I can't go back to the history. But I mean, you can see the 3 seasons I've played here. Just 2, right? 03, 04. I won the league in my first season. Arsenal won the league in their second season. I took third. Newcastle, here they are. But Chelsea, William Gallas is still here. Injitab Jeremy is still here. Wayne Bridge is still the left back. They have Lizarazu, Marcel Desailly. John Terry is definitely still here. They sold Frank Lambert to Real Madrid. They did. Adrian Mutu is still here before the cocaine. 20. This is big money right here, guys. I know right now people are going for £100 million, but yeah. But Hoot wants out. He wants out. I'm interested in him. I'm hoping to snap him up. Damien Duff is still here. Juan Sebastian Veron is still here. Cole turned out to be a very important player, which is exactly how I write it in my book. World-class midfielder. And then Crespo is still here. Michel Galacio. I don't know him. Carlton Cole is still here. Happy playing for the club. Hidetoshi Nakata is still here. Well, he was never there. But yeah, they got him. Rotten got him from Real Chelsea. They got Juan Roman Riquelme, very important player. So yeah, Chelsea are doing pretty good. Here's my squad. Here's my team. I have Paul Robinson. He's fairly young for a goalkeeper, 26. 3 English caps. I'll show you the England thing later. Scott Alloway is on loan for Sean. My bad. I don't know my players. Scott Carson, who is actually like 40 years old now in the Man City team. I sent him on loan to Bristol. I got in Kasper Schmeichels on loan. You all know Kasper Schmeichel. I have Phil Jagielka on loan from Manchester United. This is the third time I'm loaning him, by the way. He's very good. But Manchester United don't want to use him. So, you know, Albrechtsen, important defender. I got him from FC Copenhagen, Denmark. Hoyt from Arsenal. I got him down. His stats aren't that impressive, but I don't know. So he's a tried and trusted person that I've used in the past, so I got him again. I really like this guy, Kilgalon. Let me reduce the volume of this music. Reduce the volume. There we go. Matthew Kilgalon. I really like the way he plays. He's been in my team forever. I just started using him like last season, and he was immense. This is a tried and trusted guy in Championship Manager 0304. Everybody knows you have to go for a Jose Julian de la Cuesta. Got him for basically nothing, but he's a beast. A freaking beast. Ian Harte is still here. Yep, he was always in Leeds. I met him here. Fairly good for the first season. Danny Mills was, he was always here, but I'm giving him a chance here. I wanted to. Manchester United and a couple of top clubs were interested in him. He always went on loan to like big clubs. Dortmund came for him. Was previously at loan to Middlesbrough. He takes a lot of money, and I decided to make him stay to prove that he was worth these wages. These are big wages right now, people. I'm not kidding. Said Johnson is having an issue with me. I just sold a Brazilian called Daniel Carvalho, and he believes like the club needs more squad depth. And I don't. This is the second time he's doing this to me. The first time he wanted to leave because I sold a bunch of people. It's odd to me that he wants competition all the time. I mean, he is my best left midfielder, by the way. But you know what? Let's see when this guy comes back from injury. He's out for a month with a broken leg. Let's see, because he showed a decent amount of promise. Okay, starts here. 3 goals and 4 assists in 7 games. Guaranteed I didn't play him on the left midfield left all the time. Sometimes I played him as a striker. But yeah, he has impressed me. This is a beast. Alessio Cersei. You can see that finishing is 20. That technique is 20. And that's all I need to know about the way he caresses the ball, okay? Caresses the ball. So look at the stats here. Look at these beasts, That's that. Come on. However, that isn't my ultimate beast. Well, let me show you. This is my young striker that I've been developing. Look, he's got 20 goals last year. He's 18 goals this season so far. He's going to beat last season's record, obviously, because I've been playing him more and more often. And I'm proud of the way he's been developing. I got Antonio Di Natale from the Italian Serie A, from Empoli. They got relegated. Look, Serie A, Serie B, and now they went to Serie C. He was on the cheap. I got him. Unfortunately, he's having a hard time settling down in the area, and he wants to leave. I listed his ass, and yeah, it's unfortunate. I really wanted him to come in because I just sold Alan Smith, and I'm looking for a striker to replace him. As you can see, it's the 1st of January 2006, meaning I can go out there and do business. Here are my finances. I have £10 million, guys. It's not really. This is not a lot of money. No matter what time this is, okay. One player can swallow up this entire budget. When I came into Leeds, they were insecure as far as like money. They're trying to control a bunch of things. I've kind of steadied the ships financially. So, yeah, James Milner is here. Pretty important player for me. He's 19, worth a decent amount of money. He's also developed pretty well. 17 assists last season. Pretty good. And here is this guy is good. Eric Blake. I have to tie up his contract. He won me the Champions League, guys. He did. He won me the Champions League. Um. Oh, can I get to the final? Can I show it? Let me see if I can get there. He won me the Champions League last season. Oh my God. There you go. He did. He did. He absolutely did. 1-1 went into extra time. Towards the end of extra time, he scored at the 117th minute, 118th minute, back to back. And then, Kano, shout out to the Nigerian legend, scored in the 120th minute. This was my big break. Once he got injured, pow, I pounced on him. Pounced on them. Oh, Jesus. Arsenal, me and Arsenal are having a very, very big rivalry right now. As you can see, let me show you. Premier League. Look at the history. I league first, won the league second. We the Community Shield, they beat me. The previous one also, they beat me. I won the FA Cup when they won the league. When I won the league, they won the FA Cup. So we have a very interesting dynamic. But let me show you my best player right now. Well, I have Iniesta on loan from Barcelona. I'm hoping that it can be permanent, although I did not reach out to them for a permanent contract after the loan deal. I don't think they'll sell him to me. And to be honest, Iniesta didn't want to come to me for the first 2 seasons. I guess when I won the Champions League, that's when he was like, you know what? Maybe England is worth developing my skills. So he's 21. He's still in Barcelona B. I'll show you Barcelona later, maybe as I go through. But yeah, this is their team. Matthew Flamini I got for free, right? I got for free, yeah. He's been pretty good for me. I don't understand why he was going for free. His stats look pretty weak, but he's a very good player. He really is. Jody Morris, who was assistant manager to Frank Lampard before he got sacked. And you can see it here in their relationship. Frank Lampard is his friend. Pretty good player. I'm trying to sell him more than what he's valued. Dislikes me because he wants a new contract. He wants a new contract, and we can't afford to give him what he wants. These beasts want something out of budget, bro. And the board clearly do not want to. They don't want to break the bank for him. Like, I try to tell him, but he has a dumb agent. So we have this in common, though. And when was his contract? Oh shit! I have to sell him soon. Let me see if I can offer him to clubs. Let's see. Yeah, because his contract runs out at the end of this year. I'm hoping I can get a good deal for him. But yeah, this is the best player I have. Aaron freaking Lennon. This beast on this game, and he's an attacking midfielder, but I play him in a forward role, so he's kind of like a winger like striker for me. And I think I'm just going to go to training and try and convert him, but I don't know. I feel like maintaining him this way. His finishing is kind of trash right now. 14. It shows 14 in some matches, but Jesus, 38 goals in the first season in the league only. Scored 14 last season in the league, but 27 overall. 15 currently this season. I believe right now he is Leeds all-time goal scorer just at that age right now. Not all-time as in overall, but like Leeds all-time leading goal scorer in the Premier League, because he just broke the record with 67. So anyway, who am I playing first? Arsenal. But yeah, guys, this is pretty much my championship manager team. And we're gonna get into some football. I know you can see this crazy score line I just came out of. This was, oh my god, insane game. Leicester, they're pretty good right now. Not in the game. I'm talking about like in real life. But obviously, I beat the brakes off them. I beat the absolute brakes off them. Yeah, I'm on a run right now. I'm on a good run. Um, but Arsenal are a tough opponent. So let's see what happens here. Let's see. I'm gonna start Jagielka. Let's see. Bum, 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 bum. See how that works. I really want the Natali to get some. I really want the Natali to get some goals, increasing his value, and seem like a good player to cash in. But let's get into some topics, people. Let's get into some topics. Um, I listened to the Monday Night Football podcast, which is BBC's Monday Football podcast, and I was listening to Ian. No, not Ian. Right, Michael Richards, Chris Sutton, and Rory Smith with Matt Chapman, and we're talking about Arsenal, Chelsea, um, that game where Lukaku absolutely killed Arsenal, and they a couple of interesting discussions in that one, and I'm gonna play a few clips from there. I'm hoping I don't get copyright struck. That's what I'm hoping for. Look at Ryan Giggs is in Arsenal, guys. Spoiler alert: Ryan Giggs is in Arsenal. United sold him to Arsenal. Yeah, if you can't believe that. But I'm hoping I don't get any copyright from that. I'm really hoping. Oh shit, this beast, this freaking beast. Oh wow, Henry scores me. BBC. There it is. Come on, boys. Come on. There we go. There we go. Get in. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah. He's just a beast. Like I think he really is the best player in this game. But I mainly play Premier League. That's why I feel that way. Probably is close. 2003, 2004 was definitely the Thierry Henry era. Now I haven't. I know Henry and Tracy get well and play. Oh, come on, Della Costa. In the Italian Serie A, they have a bunch of good players. Shevchenko is still Shevchenko is still a pretty huge beast in the game. Um, yeah, Rui Costa is there too. Yeah, I believe that's Rui Costa. Hanno's there. So Torre, Cole. Actually, Cole still an outside player. Um, so Campbell, Senderos. So pretty good team. Arsene is there. We go. There we go. And I'm using the Diablo formula, which is a cheat formula on Football Manager, on Championship Manager. So yeah, all those yeah, that's why I'm doing pretty well. But you know what? Let's get into this previous. All right, let's see podcasts. Let's see. Let's see all available episodes. There it is. Fair use. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
It says, Chris. So,
Losing away at Brentford on the first day was bad, but equally, it doesn't mean.
right, let's move on to some football. Let me know if you win, will you, Chris? Because you could, I'd like you to be great defeat and failing to score a goal. The club first time in their one grateful if that comes off. Right then, let's talk Arsenal. If ever there was going to be an overreaction Monday, then it will probably involve Arsenal. On the Monday night, but first time in their 118-year history that they've begun a league season with 2 defeats and failing to score a goal. They go to Manchester City next weekend. There is a possibility that they could go.
Guys, I'm gonna just make my Championship Manager crowd loud,
I think you can overreact
just for
to the
copyright,
short-term
maybe.
situation which is a bit of but
Yeah, it's hard to hear.
European champions itself isn't disgraceful. The manner of the defeat, I think, was a bit troubling. It was a fairly kind of what's the word? Blanket situation, which I think would worry the fans. Losing away at Brentford on the first day was bad, but equally, it doesn't mean they're going to get relegated. It doesn't mean they're going to be, I think we have to keep it in context to some extent. But what I think you can't do is overreact, particularly to the decline of Arsenal over the last 5, 8, 10 years from where they were to where they are now. This sounds like an overreaction. Isn't really meant to be possible. You're not really meant to be able to do what Arsenal have done when you're a club of that size, with those revenues, with those resources, and with that head start. You think about where they were in the late first decade of this century, so 2008, 2009, 2010, been in the Champions League constantly. They were making the quarterfinals the last 16. They admitted they hadn't won it, but they were regulars at Europe's top table. This is the era of the super clubs. Arsenal were a super club. They were of that level. How they've managed to go from there to here in what is relatively a short space of time is
I'm beating
pretty
them.
remarkable and fairly despair-generating if you're an Arsenal fan, I would have thought. It's
So that was Rory Smith of the Times, talking about how much Arsenal have, how it's an overreaction for Arsenal right now to be up all in arms because they haven't scored in their first 2 games and it's their worst start to a season in ages. But he said you can't overreact to the decline of Arsenal as a club. And I think that's right. I think that is absolutely right. I think it's we always used to say something to Arsenal fans about how they always say there's always a next season. But when they always said there's always a next season, it was because of the league, right? They always try to challenge for the league and they never really got close to it. Now and then at some point it started becoming top four, top four, top four. And now it's almost like where are they? What exactly is the ceiling for Arsenal? Like, where exactly is the table for Arsenal? I guess. Like, where are they trying to climb to? And he's right about that. I'm gonna let Michael Richards talk too, but he's absolutely right about. Let me check. Does Cersei have a hat trick? He's absolutely right about how far Arsenal have declined. I was just watching a clip where Ozil was still in the club. This is not too long ago, and they were playing this delicate, free-flowing football under Wenger. And even that seems like a long time ago. So let me let Michael Richards talk.
It's disappointing, isn't it? We talk about Arsenal, and I used to love Arsenal growing up. I feel a little bit sorry for Arteta in terms of the hand that he's been given, and also it's a job maybe he took a little bit too soon. I've seen him in action. He's a very good coach. Obviously, a manager's completely different. You've got to deal with a lot more stuff in terms of like the players you get, who you've got to shift out, style
what
of
hand
play.
has he been given out of interest?
It's been given. He's coming up against Man City, who are a superpower. He's coming up against Chelsea, who are also building. Man United look better, and Chelsea. So he's coming up against some really, really top teams, and he's come. And I don't want to see. Everyone talks about that period where they're trying to start from scratch, trying to get young players and stuff in. But if you look at Arsenal's squad compared to the rest, they're just not as good at this moment in time. They've got very good young players, but as the scene against Chelsea, it was men versus boys, and I just think with Arteta, I've tried to give him as much time as possible.
Just let me give you two things on the squad, right? And one of them is a bit looking to the future. I get that, but at the moment, nobody's spent more, I'm led to believe, across Europe's top 5 leagues than Arsenal this summer, right? That's looking ahead, and I appreciate not all of them featured yesterday. In fact, very few of them featured yesterday. The other, and this isn't all on Arteta, this is on the club. They've signed 8 centre halves in the last 5 seasons of Arsenal.
Yeah, but no disrespect. You mentioned they've spent 132 million off the top of my head, some of that nature. But at this moment, Arsenal can't attract the top players because players want to go to the better performing teams at this moment in time. So when you said they spent a lot of money, they're buying second tier players or players.
It's funny. I'm listening to the podcast and I'm destroying Arsenal at the same time.
Are they on Edu?
Well, that's a big thing. You should think that the manager's got some input in the players that they're getting, but I just think with Arsenal now, they've got themselves in such a rut. A couple of panic buys, and then they signed Aubameyang to his new contract, and then he's not really done much since that. And then it's almost like everyone's gone forward and they've just stayed still, all while trying to control the finances, and then they go out and spend 132 million on, no disrespect, Ramsdale's had 3 relegations in his career. You've got Sam Johnson there, who's at West Brom. I'm not trying to sell any player, but like he's ready-made now. I would think that would be more of a better signing for Arsenal. The signing for the future, it's almost like they've conceded that it's going to be very difficult for them to get world-class players. So,
I would say on the point, I would say it's very surprising that Arsenal, with the highest spenders in the transfer window, I'll say this about Arsenal, and I said this on the last episode with Nosso, that they seem to always buy their big players one season at a time. And I think they should, instead of doing that, they should buy them at the same time. Because I think that's what the better teams do. I think that's what they do. I'm going to move it forward to where Rory was talking about City and how that relates with Arsenal as far as like building this team back up. I think he had a very good point. I think Arsenal, where they are right now, they have to think in terms of a rebuild right now. There's no more, just forget the past glory or whatever. You are where you are right now. Do you want to be a top club? As far as recruitment, Arsenal have always had this issue about recruitment, haven't they? But they always seem to have good recruitment as far as like good players with a decent strategy, Santi Cazorla and things like that. Cazorla wasn't world class, but he was definitely, a decent world. Can they get someone in that class right now? I mean, is Martin Odegaard, is he where Cazorla was when Arsenal bought him? You have to question yourself about that. And going back to the point I was trying to make, one season they buy Ozil, the next season they buy Aubameyang, the next season they buy Pepe, and the next season they buy Partey, and it just seems like every season it's just one big splash. Chelsea bought Costa and Fabregas together. City, they bought Yaya Toure, Silva, it was Yaya Silva, Boateng. They put like a bunch of them together. United, although United aren't the blueprint for success really recently, so maybe we can forget them. But I think they have to buy like 3 good players in there, like ASA, like together as a cluster, not one average, one just together. They get that. Ben White was a good addition. I mean, I know everybody's trolling him on that Brentford situation. Let me keep looking. But I think Arsenal have to move that way to be serious about review. And they don't necessarily have to break the bank. Look at Leicester. I think Wolves have good recruitment also. Although, Wolves kind of messed up. Cersei's now the record scorer. Wolves kind of messed up last season. But look at the players in Wolves. I mean, why not? Why not do that? And I'm gonna, I'm gonna push the slider forward so you can hear Rory Smith's point with them.
Let's just get young talent, and unfortunately, buying young talent.
Played yesterday and was probably Arsenal's best player. Did really well. So he looks like he might be quite a smart signing. But for the 132 million quid that Arsenal spent this summer, do they look 132 million quid better? I'm not sure they do. I think they look maybe marginally better than they were last season when they finished mid-table. And the really worrying thing for me, and this is relevant to something that Micah lived through, when all that money came into City didn't go out.
Here it goes.
Galacticos. They tried for Kaká.
Yeah, they did.
Robinho, it didn't work, particularly for reasons that even Michael would admit were not Robinho's fault, particularly. They didn't go and sign the top class players straight away because you can't attract those players. What they did was they built up through the league. Effectively, they kind of signed players like Julian Lescott, Gareth Barry, who could take them to the next step, to the cusp of the Champions League. Then they went a little bit further, Adebayor, quite a few players from Arsenal, Nasri, who could take them into the Champions League, make them competitive, and eventually they built a side that won the league. Arsenal are not 10 players away from winning the league. Arsenal are 10 players away from competing for the Champions League.
Sheesh.
Then another 10 players away from competing for the league. Then another 10 players away from winning it. And they have to do all of that with 1 or 2 genuinely saleable assets, Saka and Smith Rowe, maybe Tierney, who are the players they don't want to lose. They are in a trap that will take years to get out of Arsenal. That sounds like a reaction, but I really genuinely don't think it is, and I take no pleasure in saying it, but this is a process that takes a long time to get out of.
So should there be patience?
So you heard what Rory Smith had to say. Now the whole 10 players away, that was a huge sheesh for me, but he has a point as far as the way City did it. City came in, they wanted to sign Kaká, they wanted to sign this, they wanted to sign that. So I'd be like, yo, slow down, bro. Like, Kaká wants to play in the Champions League. Okay, this is a Ballon d'Or winner that we're talking about. Like, how are you gonna do that? And then City went back to the board and they were like, you know what, let's deal in reality. Let's get Gareth Barry. Let's get James Milner. Let's get this and that. And see if we can get into that regime of that area of top four. And they did that with Mark Hughes, right? Before, and then they finally threw the axe on Mark Hughes's head, where they finally had they finally had the presentation to get a manager who was a big name in Roberto Mancini, right? And that's exactly what they did. And then Mancini helped them challenge for the title and win the title, and then you know it became this. Under Mancini, they brought in Balotelli. I think that's when Silva came in, I believe. So that's how City did it, and I'm gonna move the slide up to where they invite an Arsenal fan to talk on the program, and he had some good points. He had some very good points, and he was particularly strong against Arteta. And I know a lot of Arsenal fans already want Arteta gone. They want him gone. I'm gonna say my piece on that. I'm gonna give my opinion on what I think happened with him at the club, and we'll see about that. So everybody, nobody wants to get Morris. That's interesting. It's interesting. I tried to sell Johnny Morris. Nobody's interested. Let me see if I can negotiate a new contract with him. But you know what? Let me move that slider forward. Let me see if I can get what I'm trying to get.
With Arteta.
Well, shall I bring an Arsenal fan in?
Yeah, here we go.
You should.
Yeah, let's bring Johnny in to this. Johnny Cocker from the Arsenal Opinion podcast, who has a Thierry Henry poster just behind his left shoulder, which must feel like a world away that period of time. Ian Wright said last night in one of the few punditry gigs he's still got left since Mike has nobbled him on most things, but he said last night on Match of the Day 2 that Arsenal weren't prepared for Brentford, and it didn't look like they were prepared for Chelsea. So either they aren't prepared, they aren't listening, or they aren't actually able to do what the manager wanted them to do. They were bereft of anything.
Well, from my perspective, there's a number of things there, and I've been interested to hear your conversation beforehand. Now, for me, as I've been quite vocal on the Arsenal Opinion podcast, I think a lot of it does lay at the manager's door. I do think that
Jonathan,
what we're seeing now from Arsenal is through years and years of a lack of foresight, a lack of a proper plan that's in place to help try and transition the club from essentially, it was since Wenger's days. Obviously, we've had Unai Emery since then as well, but we've got a number of people in charge at Arsenal who don't really understand football, and we know that from their appointments and from their decision making. The Kroenkes, I'm not a fan of them as owners. Most Arsenal fans aren't. The simple fact is that we have made two managerial appointments. I think both of them wrong at this stage now. But I think that when we talk about the amount of culpability that must be under, you know, Mike is talking there, and I respect what you're saying, but the fact is I don't feel sorry for the guy at all. The simple facts of the matter are he wanted the manager's job.
Do you think it was a good appointment, Johnny, at the time then?
I thought it was worth a punt, Chris. It's worth a punt because there was a lot of talk about him as a very hot prospect in managerial circles. When you train under Pep Guardiola, most Arsenal fans go, ding, ding, we're getting Pep Mark II. Can't wait. Turns out we got Bobby Martinez. That's who we actually got. That's who I see Arteta as. Like, he's a Mark II of that. He's a guy who, at his ceiling, might win you an FA Cup, but at his worst, who knows? We could be in a rally scrap with Norwich this year. We don't even know where it's going to go down. Sorry, Chris, that was not...
Where do you believe Arsenal can finish with the team that they had? I don't know how COVID and whatnot, but if you actually look at the squad, like, what do you expect a manager to do with certainly the players he had out?
Well, this is one of the main things as well when we talk about Arsenal, because I respect that. When you look at the resources that Man City have, that Chelsea have, that Man United have, Arsenal, though a very rich club and obviously the biggest spenders in this transfer window, we don't have the same level of resources to directly compete. And that is why we have to be smarter with the way that we apply ourselves and the way that we try to attain our targets. And that is through employing,
He's such
you
a
know,
beast.
an innovative manager, which is what we thought we could do. Because you can't wait for Pep Guardiola to win the Champions League and then go, do you want to come to Arsenal? Because unless he's got a boyhood, you know, Arsenal fanaticism that we don't know about, he's not going to say yes. So we have to try and get them before they reach the top level. And that was why I don't mind the Arteta appointment in the first place. It's worth taking a punt and seeing if we can get round those corners through smart and brave acquirements with players as well. But the problem comes in is that you have to be agile as a club, and you have to be able to say, you know what, if we are going to punt on a younger manager who is having his first job here, then we have to set clear demarcations out of what success and what basic attainment of your goals is. Because right now, it seems like we keep moving the goalpost and saying, actually, we're living in fear of what the next appointment might be. So let's just keep going. And really, if you take a punt on a new manager, he should have a clearly defined role, his responsibilities and his targets. And if he doesn't meet them, then it's simple. He has to move on.
If buts and maybes, Johnny. So say you'd beaten Brentford first game. Would things be different?
Oh, another goal. You know what? I want to let it flow, but at this point, you know, I'm really hoping I don't get copyright on this. I'm just, you know, but that's the Arsenal fans' thought on Arteta. Now, in my opinion, and they will ramble about Ed. You know what? I'm going to move forward and let him have more thoughts on that. In my opinion, Arsenal, Chelsea, and Manchester United were all in a similar situation. Hat-trick? Yes, hat-trick. Where Arsenal had Arteta, Chelsea had Frank Lampard. Arsenal have Arteta, Chelsea had Lampard, Man United have Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. All club legends, all getting their club icons. I don't know if you can call Arteta a club legend, but you know, maybe. But that was close. All managing clubs that they had previously worked at. And I think Chelsea, we were having sort of that similar situation with Lampard where we had spent the money and he wasn't doing as good as we thought that squad should. You know, a lot of people are like, you know, they are still young. It takes time. And knowing Chelsea were like, no, we want to win right now. That's Chelsea. That's just Chelsea for you. So Chelsea decided to go ahead and sack Frank and employ Tuchel. In my mind, there's a developmental manager, and then there's a title winning manager. And I think clubs, they get a developmental manager to build them up, and then they get a title winning manager to win them the titles. I think when Roman Abramovich arrived at Chelsea, he met Claudio Ranieri there. And you know, they bought a bunch of people, Joe Cole, Veron, you know, whatever. Ranieri didn't win the title. Ranieri didn't necessarily win any trophies. Ranieri came close in the Champions League, right? And he lost to Monaco in the semis. And that was it for him. And then Chelsea went on to get Mourinho. And Mourinho, you know, started this juggernaut that we all have grown to love today. Well, some of us hate Chelsea. But I'm a Chelsea fan, so whatever. Then you look at Manchester City and what they did with Mark Hughes. in the sense that Mark Hughes was the developmental manager, right? He was the one handling Tevez at some point and all those kind of players. And then they were like, well, let's go ahead and get Mancini to win us the title. And then from Mancini, they went to Pellegrini and then Pellegrini Pep. And I think Spurs missed the boat on this also. I really do believe that Spurs had that developmental manager, Pochettino, when they were in their prime. Everybody was in their prime. Vertonghen, Vermaelen, it was going absolutely mad there at Spurs. I thought they should have pulled the trigger and gotten a winner, but that never happened. And I wonder if Arsenal, as highlighting Arteta as that developmental manager, and then they want to get a better coach, like Conte. They have been linked with him for a little period of time. I wonder if Arsenal employed what's his name? Good evening. Damn, can't remember his name. We just played him in the Super Cup. Unai Emery. I wonder if Arsenal got Emery too soon. Even if they sacked him too soon, by the way. But United are very interesting because now they have a very good squad. And I wonder if they're going to pull the trigger on Ole or they're going to allow him to continue to manage this team. So that's my theory on managers. There are some who are good for development and there are some that are good for winning. I think Brendan Rodgers is good for development. He's won a few titles. Although he had a very good run at Celtic, so maybe I'm being biased. I still think Pochettino is development only, even though he's at PSG and he has a wealth of talent at his disposal. But yeah, that's my theory on Arsenal Football Club and their manager situation. But I'm gonna let it play on.
After a defeat as it was against Chelsea, would things be different? Would you as an Arsenal fan be thinking differently? Because 2 games isn't enough to judge Arteta, is it?
No, but that's a completely fair point. But the issue is that after this Chelsea game, which I think a lot of Arsenal fans will look at and go, look, they're the European champions. They're clearly better than us. They out-punch us. And losing to Chelsea is not what's going to get Arteta sacked. It's similar to, we talk about newly promoted clubs and we say, listen, losing home and away to Liverpool or City is not going to get you relegated. It's the games against the people that you need to win, those that are in and around you. Brentford away, I'm sorry, you can't be losing that game. And we can't even complain. Yes, we can decry COVID issues. Like I said, but the reality is there are clear issues with our strike force. And when you talk about the fact we spent the most amount of money in this summer transfer window, again, you've kind of been hinting at it, but
these players haven't had the opportunity over a sustained period to show what they can do.
Which players?
The players who he signed.
No,
two games into the season.
No,
aren't we? And no doubt, Arteta's going to be judged when you're the biggest spenders in the transfer window. But we're 2 games into the season, it does seem a little bit harsh when after yesterday's performance, Arsenal fans calling for his head.
I go further than Johnny. I thought Arteta was a good appointment. I thought it was quite a smart thing for Arsenal to do. Emery is a really good coach. It didn't fit there. And you look at what Emery's done elsewhere in his career. There's a certain type of team he does well with, and Arsenal wasn't that. The problem that I think Arteta's got in terms of developing as a manager, you do have to allow him to learn on the job a little bit. Is that if he was at a club with a really clear structure? I remember a lot of the Italian managers talk about needing a hierarchy above them so they know where they stand, which we've never been particularly good at in England. But if you have a young manager who is in his first major job at what is a massive, that's an understatement of what Arsenal is. You need a really clear vision above him to say, this is what we expect you to do. This is what you're going to be working with. This is how it's going to be. This is your vision. This is what we want. This is your role. This is your these are your responsibilities. These are ours. Arsenal is so dysfunctional, it's barely imaginable.
When was the
And
last time Arsenal had a clear vision, Rory?
Chris, the two best examples of dysfunction are Granit Xhaka, and Johnny might have to correct me here. Granit Xhaka was Arsenal captain, then he was not Arsenal captain, then they spent an entire summer trying to sell him to Roma, then he was Arsenal captain again, and they're trying to give him a new contract. That makes no sense. Aubameyang was a great big sort of saga over his new contract. They gave a player who is, 31, 32, 300 grand plus a week to sign a new contract, meaning that you have precisely zero resale value at the end of that contract when you need to rebuild your squad. And they are now trying, well, not trying to sell him, but they are apparently to offer that nobody else in Europe can afford or wants to sign. This is not a club that is given its young manager, what Arteta's not done as well as I thought he would, but whatever chance he had is being blown by the institutional failure above him. And that is the one reason that makes it really hard to judge Arteta, because he is not in an environment where it is really possible to succeed.
I mean, I'll push back on a couple. I agree with a lot of what you're saying there, but the fact is, for me, is, of course, we can say that Arteta's been hamstrung by the lack of leadership above him, and I agree with that. The fact is Arsenal is just built on a structure of work experience people getting given jobs. We've got essentially a chief executive who is his first job in football. The owners, the Cronkies, first football club they've ever owned. We've got Edu in. Yeah, of course. He was a technical director at Corinthians and whatnot, but he looks lost. And I think most of the criticism that Arteta faces absolutely shared with Edu as well. It's not been good enough for a while now as well. I mean, you look at Pepe yesterday, £72 million, huge investment, doesn't look up to it. It's as simple as that. But the problem is that one of the things that I expected, and you talk about, Rory, that it was a smart appointment, and I understand why. I really do, why you would think that. But what we hoped for out of a new manager was the ability to be adaptable and to be able to almost be pragmatic, because he's got nothing to lose. He doesn't have the reference point that some managers like a Jose Mourinho might have, for instance, where he goes, oh, I did it like this 10 years ago, so I'll just keep doing the same thing. When you've got no experience, sometimes it's liberating. You can do whatever with your opportunity. But Arteta has been given a bigger opportunity than most, newbie managers in the world. We're a massive club, and to give Arteta the opportunity, I don't think we should, be resistant to giving a new manager an opportunity. But there has to be accountability, and when it doesn't work, we have to have people that say this isn't working, and we're ready to move on. And that's what is most worrying for Arsenal fans.
Johnny, thank you very much for.
Yeah, it was. To be honest, I don't blame Mari at the start, because you have that.
Of me as a Sunday League clogger, I qualify again. Why? What happened yesterday was allowed to continue for the majority of that match?
So I guess that's the Arsenal discussion. I don't think who do Arsenal play? Arsenal play Man City next. I believe they won West Brom tonight, right? I think Arsenal won West Brom tonight. Let me check. Arsenal. Aubameyang scored a hat trick. Okay, all right. Aubameyang. Fair use, YouTube. Fair use. Is that his third goal? Oh. Good setup. That Pepe. Good setup. Just shows Arsenal are still not yet at West Brom's level. I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna be pet. Oh, that's a brilliant finish. Isn't he right foot? Is he right footed or left footed? It's very good for Saka. He's a nice young player. So brilliant finish. So brilliant finish. Near post. Well, yeah, it's Man City next for Arsenal, for sure. Let's see. Yeah, how would they do after that brilliant performance against West Brom? I'll put him back. How would they do after that? Oh, okay, Man United. Let me see again. I don't want to go straight to Chelsea. Let's talk about Harry Kane. Let's talk about Harry Kane and the pain of negotiating with Daniel Levy. Because I know everybody knows for a fact Kane wanted to leave. This isn't the first time. Everybody knows Levy's reputation in football. He's a hardball. He's a hardball. Football owner. It was incredible to see the reception from the sports fans on Sunday and to read some of the messages of support I've had in the last few weeks. I'll be staying at Tottenham this summer and will be 100% focused on helping the team achieve success. Who believes that? I think he finally saw that. I think he finally saw there was no way out. Apparently, he signed a 6-year contract. Yeah. Apparently, he signed. Harry Kane boxed himself in at Tottenham the day he signed a 6-year deal at a club that had won nothing for years and a new stadium to pay for in the immediate future. A decision that could cost him medals in the prime of his career. Ain't that the truth? Or a decision that earns him legendary status at Spurs. Harry Kane is definitely a world-class striker. Yeah. But this article was pretty cool. Daniel Levy adds to his reputation as football's toughest negotiator. I remember when Chelsea were interested in Modric. I remember when Chelsea were interested in Modric. Let me see if this story covers it. Levy was absolutely not having it. Luka Modric wanted to join Chelsea back in 2011 after meeting owner Roman Abramovich. I'd like to go to Chelsea. A lot of players would like to go there and play for Chelsea because it's one of the biggest clubs in the world, and so do I. Chelsea had several bids rejected for Modric as Spurs owner David Daniel Levy refused to budge and sell to the Blues, and it ended out he didn't make the desired switch to Stamford Bridge that saw them win the Champions League at the end of the new season in 2012. Now, Modric obviously went to a more to a club where, well, a more successful club, Real Madrid. So it is what it is. I had met Abramovich only once. I was watching Chelsea play against Atletico Madrid at Stamford Bridge and was seated close. Where did that go? Close to his box. This is where we met and exchanged a couple of words. When I'm meeting on the cousin, he left an impression of a relaxed, somewhat mysterious person. He wasn't beating around the bush and said, "We know you're a quality player and I'd like you to sign for Chelsea." Anyway, we all know how that story went. Chelsea never signed Modric, but this is kind of similar. Daniel Levy, before Daniel Levy sells to an opponent, oh my god. Oh, they talk about it in this article. So Alex Ferguson is also familiar with the difficulty of dealing with Levy, having managed to bring Carrick and Berbatov to Manchester United after intense negotiations, and later described the process of signing Berbatov in summer of 2009 in his autobiography. Our move for Berbatov ended up as a scrap with Daniel Levy, the Tottenham chairman, which left us reluctant to return to Spurs for the player, he said. This was our second trip on the Big Dipper following our move for Michael Carrick. We come off dizzy. Yeah, and they left for significant amounts of money. Levy doesn't play with his players, and yeah, the following summer saw Gary Bale looked to follow Modric and Sandro Bernabeu, but Levy held up the right end of it. Yeah, yep. Levy was not prepared to accept anything less than 175 million euros for Kane. Wow. Yeah, insane, isn't it? Insane. So yeah, that's just a little article that I thought was worth reviewing. To get back to this, I'm playing freaking Manchester United. Everybody's at home, so hopefully, 5-1, 5-1 back to back. I've been scoring a decent amount of goals. They said I should rest Cersei and Milner, so I think I might do that. See if I can bring my master into this. If I can do that. I'll let Jagielka play against his people. Why not? Why not? I'm usually afraid of playing Diablo against United because Diablo is a gung ho. Diablo is a gung ho tactic, and United might punish me. Oh no! God damn it! Damn it! I should be 2-1 up right now. These one-on-one misses are killing me. But I guess we'll venture off to Chelsea. Come on, Mills. Hear yourself. Venture off to Chelsea and talk about their first two games, Lukaku, and their transfer deals, by the way. I believe they are still in the market for a few people. There you go. There you go, Simon. I believe he just equaled his record. He scored 20 goals last season. I believe he just nailed number 20 for this. His finishing is crazy. Happy for him. There you go, Anelka. Let's see what they're doing over there. Ranisora isn't having a good game. There we go. Try to get attack. Do they have Clivett? They have Clivett. They have Kelly Gonzalez. But yeah, I mean, it's a cup game. Ronaldo is on the bench. I could see that. Cleverson, however, has been a star for them. He didn't flop like in real life, people. Come on. Oh, come on. Sub. Woo! There we go. Put him in there. They won debut. Let's get him in. Let's get him in. I love Jonathan Soriano so much, bro. I love him so much. Not gonna lie, I've been on a nice run. Been on a nice run. There we go. Really? God damn it. You think it's too late for them to equalize? Alright. I mean, look, if we're gonna go, let's go there. Let's go there. If we're gonna go there, let's go there. Please. There we go. Come on. There we go, Jonathan. Square it. Play it. Yes. Alright. United are always tough to beat, bro. Always tough to beat. Glad I knocked them out. That's enough. Out of the fucking FA Cup. Bye, United. 7 games in a row, one. That's a new record. Yellow. So on to Chelsea. On to Chelsea. Chelsea fans, how are we feeling? We're about to get Kunde in for Zuma. I don't really know much about Kunde, I'm not gonna lie. Um, yeah, I'm about to get Saul Niguez from Spain, from Atletico, which is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Let me just check that. Kunde. I haven't watched him play ever. Um, at least not watched the focus of him. So it's a very interesting transfer, and I really believe in Zuma. So I'm not too pleased about letting Zuma go. I'll say this about Chelsea: we are letting a lot of talented people go, although we have definitely good talent back in the squad. But at the same time, we're keeping a lot of players who don't deserve to be there. Ross Barkley is still at the club. I believe we're just getting rid of Timoe Bakayoko. Babayaman is just leaving. Did I mention Ross Barkley already? Drinkwater is still in the squad. What's going on with Ruben Loftus-Cheek? Like that actually bothers me, and it just goes to show that maybe people don't want these players. They don't. They're not. What is that really got going on? It's funny. These are all just highlights of this guy. Doesn't seem that tall either. Very interesting for a centre back, to be honest. It's gonna be very interesting. The Premier League is a very physical league. Lots of headers. Could he win them? Kante wins a bunch of headers. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Shout out to Terry Flowers. He's really great. He shouted. I've hopped on his podcast a few times, maybe once, but he's fantastic. Check out his shows, bro. He's great. And you know what? Let me play his show. That'll be interesting. Oh, you know what? I don't think I can do that. I don't think I can do that. Phase, right? I just phase the show. I don't know. Ah, well. However, I'm gonna talk about gonna let the Monday Night Club talk about Lukaku's performance against Pablo Marin and Arsenal.
Micah.
Yeah, it was. To be honest, I don't blame Mari at the start because you have that individual battles. When a manager goes out before the game, he says, "Win your individual battles." So, the first couple of headers or duels, you always make sure you win that. If you don't win one, you've got to make sure you win your second. But then we all know, and we've not got the tactical nous of maybe as Rory, the way he likes to look at games. But we've played the game, Chris, so we all knew that once or twice, once Lukaku gets that confidence and he starts rolling people, surely you've got to get your midfielder in front of you. I can't. Maybe one or two you can get away with it. On the pitch, you look for the strongest parts of the team, and the strongest part of Chelsea's team, regardless if it was debut or not, is Lukaku. Then you've got Havertz and Mount getting into the pockets. So if I'm a defender, you're saying to your midfielders, these are where the danger areas is. Let's force it wider. Their weakest, even though he's still top notch, is probably Alonso. He's really good at running in the space, but he can't really take no one. And I'm saying that because I've played with him at Fiorentina. So you would be ushering the ball down to maybe Alonso, where he's got space to try run at someone, not make him running behind because he's very good at running behind and he can finish. But it's like after 1 and 2 and 3 balls, they didn't learn. And then what he tried to do, he tried to smash him and he gets a yellow card. And then
Would you try and fight Lukaku as a centre half when you actually know that he likes to field defenders?
The first, but I used to love that individual battle, Chris. So of course, the first or second time, I would try win that and try bully him. If he gets the better of me, that's when I'm like, no, change of tactics here. I'd get Nigel de Jong or Gareth Barry or whoever it is, send them to stand right in front of me. I'll worry about everything that's going behind, and you worry about that's everything in front of me. And people might say, well, okay, then they've got a man over, but the man over is in their half. It's not in our half. And I just couldn't believe that, like, Arsenal didn't figure it out. And it like, Chapper's having a bit of laugh there with Sunday League football, but it's the actual truth. And once he got that yellow card, his game was over because he couldn't go anywhere near him because he was scared of getting a red card after that.
I mean, you played centre half and centre forward, Chris. If you were the centre half yesterday, would you have just dropped?
I mean, I was just baffled. It was like a 14-year-old being called over from a youth pitch to train with the first team. And I mean, you have to box smart in those situations. What does Lukaku like to do? As a big physical centre forward, he wants to feel the centre half. He wants to get hold of the centre half, then he knows where he is, and he just bullied him. Now, it might happen once, it might happen twice, but then eventually Mari has to wise up. Was he 27 years old? I mean, people talk about naive players. He was just downright thick the way he played. Then he went to try and launch him, got a yellow card for that, and then he's, in all sorts of trouble. I just thought it was a really brainless performance. That, Lukaku wants to do that. He wants to do that. You notice Lukaku, he didn't put on holding too much. He kept wanting to play on the weaker opponent, on Mari, because he knew he could do that. But Mari just kept playing into his hands time and time again. And I'm afraid you expect more from a player at a club like Arsenal. Lukaku was superb.
So would you have dropped? Would you have dropped?
I wouldn't let Lukaku feel me and touch me. As soon as he feels me and touches me, then I'm dead as a centre-half because he is physically stronger than me. So you can drop a little bit and then work off his touch. I remember Roy Hodgson in the early days at Blackburn. Chris Coleman was a good centre-half, but I remember him pulling him up in training. Similar sort of thing. You can't win every ball. You can't get in front of, physical centre-forwards at times. So, you have to drop, work off his touch. You have to box smart. There's not many players who can play up against Lukaku and muscle him. That is a fact. But the smarter defenders will work off his touch. read the play a little bit better, not let Lukaku touch him. And we'll see throughout the season there will be centre halves who are able to handle Lukaku. But what you don't play into his hands.
As a forward, Chris, how quickly do you know that you've got your central defender and that they can't deal with you?
Well, what's Lukaku's strengths? His physicality. He rolls players. So as soon as I felt the centre half close to me and I could touch them, I knew I can go both ways. I knew I can turn both ways. I can feel them. That's the perfect scenario. If a centre half doesn't get up against you, then it makes you think a little bit. It makes you think, and the centre halves have to work the centre forwards. Centre half like Tony Adams, that would have been a really interesting battle. But Tony Adams was a brilliant reader of the game. When the ball was on its way into the centre forward, he'd try and nick in front. But what he wouldn't let you do is he wouldn't let you get your arm in and feel him and grab hold of his shirt. He wouldn't let you do that.
If you, this is a genuine question, Michael. I'm not trying to take the mick here. If you were struggling.
So yeah, they're just talking about how Lukaku and Marine. And you know what? Let me even see if I can get some Lukaku. Because even the goal, he just rolls off Lukaku Marine. It wasn't even real. It was just a young. It was like it was like a young player on a big senior player. Look at this. Look. Oh, come on. Look. Just Dawn, bro. Dawn. Extremely Dawn. It wasn't even a fair battle, bro. It really wasn't. Really, really wasn't. Let me see if I can get here. And I just wonder. See if I can get that here. McMaster. I've seen a bunch of people for this game. Oh Jesus, so fucking early. Justin White giving me this issue. But Chelsea were looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good as far as like everybody felt like we had a lot of creative players in the team. And finally we have a striker who can actually put the ball in the back of the net. I think that's where everybody admits we were struggling, and we finally have that final piece of the puzzle. And people think, Chelsea are going to win the league. It's not that straightforward. It really isn't, but that's how it seems right now. Kai Havertz is a brilliant player. Hakim Ziyech is a brilliant player. Mason Mount is good. Pulisic is good. So many good attacking options. Timo Werner definitely has disappointed and continues to disappoint. I mean, we're not being harsh on that. You go watch those highlights. RB Leipzig, and you're wondering who did Chelsea get, because that's not the player. That's not the player who is bringing full of confidence for the German team, for Chelsea. Because come on, Johnson. Oh, brilliant! Brilliant. That's why I got him. He's so good. Gets a mister here. But yes, we're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good. No, 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 no. Yeah. Am I still using Casper Schmeichels? I am. Oh, shit. I didn't even know. We're looking pretty good as far as like that. Mm, let me see. Let me see Simon's pace. He has good pace. Let me see Jonathan. Yeah, I'll use Jonathan as the attack. It's okay. Um, but yeah, we're looking pretty good as far as like acquisition. Shit. I'm not looking good right now. Plus, my unbeaten run is about to come to an end. Kind of sucks. Um, been handicapped. Been handicapped. Defensively, I think we're okay. I think we're there as far as like okay defensively. Rudy guy, he's been absolutely brilliant so far this season or last season towards the end when Tunku came out or came to join the club. Lampard really made people doubt Rudiger a lot, and I think he's been one of the players that has benefited from this change in appointment. Um, what else is there to say? Do Chelsea need additions? Maybe. Um, I'm not gonna lie. The appointment of Saul, I actually like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I think it's gonna bring something different into our midfield. It's interesting. My United actually need a center midfielder. I don't think we were that. I don't think we. I'm gonna try and appeal. I don't think we did, but hey, I like the idea of options. That's what I loved about the first Mourinho spell where we had Duff, Good Johnson, Joko, Robin. All in there in the in the wing position. I hear Good Johnson did play on the flanks a little bit. I appreciated that about the Mourinho era where there was a multiple competition for places. We had Thiago in the midfield. We loaned Manish from Porto one time. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to live in this era where you have different quality players vying for spot. Also, I know a lot of people love Ben Chilwell, but Ben Chilwell is pretty good as far as like assisting. But Marcus Alonso, he probably could fend for shit. But if you're putting Alonso on the bench, just know you're putting down 10 goals minimum on the bench. He creates and he scores. I saw a tweet one time about um how the world how whoever made Alonso a defender robbed us of one of the greatest strikers ever, probably. And when you look at the finishes, he is an absolute attacking fullback. Defensively, he's trash, I think. I mean, trash is harsh, but he really isn't up to par. But attacking wise, he's brilliant. The development of Rhys James has been crazy to watch now. I am still upset we let Lamptey go. And as I understand it, we let another right back go to Southampton. My issue with all these sales of academy players, and we're gonna get to Tammy Abraham in a bit, is I'm hoping we have buyback clauses on them. I didn't really go into the details of the deals, but I really hope we had buyback clauses on them because come on now, we have to have learned from De Bruyne, Salah, and yeah, Lukaku too. To be honest, we have to have learned from them, bro. All right. So brilliant. I don't want to share the group WhatsApp. Gonna what I'll do is I'll start liking stuff I want to review on the podcast so I can just go back to the account and just put it down there. But let me see. Because Abraham actually had a very good debut for Chelsea. This is our world class Twitter. Please follow us. We have a website. Click on it right there. You see us right here. Have articles on there. Yeah, give us a follow. Give us a read. You know, give us feedback. We appreciate you. Well, here we go. This is Abraham's debut for AS Roma. And fair use, fair use. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Neat skill. I'm telling you, I believe in this boy. I just think he needed that push. And I think this is the right push for him. Oh, he's still having that issue where he's a little bit behind the ball, isn't he? Like he's still, I'll say, another assist. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Two assists. It's pretty good, pretty good. When he feels up on his body, when he feels that frame, he's gonna be a tall, big striker. I really believe so. Like he really is gonna be a tall, big number 9. So you know what? Keep an eye on Tammy. Keep an eye on Tammy, and I hope Chelsea continue to do so too. I heard there's a buyback clause. We'll see. Also, this just came out. Pep is gonna be leaving for a break after 2023. So, he says after 7 years at City, I think I'll take a break, stop for a while, see what we've done, review inspiration, and this process. I'd like to coach a national team, South America, European, play a Copa America. I want this experience. So there we go. Pep Guardiola has been so clear with Man City. He would like to keep Gabriel Jesus as part of the team. Also, people close to the Brazilian striker are firmly convinced that Gabriel will stay. He experienced in like okay. All right. He will leave when his contract runs out. The last dance. This is interesting. It's pretty interesting. Every day we see new. It's pretty interesting. Very interesting way to talk about football. And we can't afford that technology right now. World class XI, world class 11. So bear with us. We can only talk for now. But yeah, that's a pretty decent review of the top teams right now in the Premier League. We might get into a little bit of La Liga in the next couple of episodes. I believe this was fun. I have Wolves to play next. I don't know if I should just play that one game and keep it rolling. But you know what? I'm gonna chill. And oh, it does suck that I drew that game. Because if I had won it, I'll be level on points with Chelsea with a game in hand. Oh no, I'll be 1 point behind the game in hand, and then I'd actually be like. But anyway, it is what it is. I have to win the next game, give Newcastle a decent push. I don't want Newcastle to win the league. I have it in for them. Sean Davids is actually. Huh. I'll actually go for this dude right here. Cheap asking price. Let's see. Should I give him this contract? Should I? How do you think I should negotiate it with him? He dislikes me. Give it to him. Let's give it to him. I'll try and sell him once he signs. I appreciate you guys sticking up with me. This is World Class XI. This is World Class 11. Subscribe to our channel, guys. We're doing some pretty cool things. Let me see. Doing some pretty cool things. We really are. This is our YouTube channel. This is our intro.
Welcome to the World Class YouTube channel. Whether you call it football or soccer, we promise to give you the best content, news, and opinion around the sport. So thanks for viewing.
All right, people. Peace out.